Grand rising, grand afternoon, grand evening, or grand rest. Wherever you are, whenever you tune in, this is our next 7-day outlook. To get this ball rolling, we are going to go into the Concrete Shamanism Shadow Work Oracle deck for one significator, and that will be the basis of the shadow work portion of our 7-day outlook this week. All right. Dear Source of all that is, was, and will ever be, I thank you today and each and every day for all that you do and all that you do through me. I call upon you at this time, Infinite Creator, and we stand in your divine authority, commanding in alignment with your perfect will. By the power of divine law, we now open our life to abundant security, stability, and protection. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. Every curse, every evil eye, every case, cause, concern, conflict, and confrontation, as well as every ill will and wish, dissolves into nothingness by the radiance of your light. We command true prosperity to flow into our lives. Prosperity that nourishes our soul, sustains our bodies, and blesses all who walk with us. Wealth and resources are now aligned to our highest purpose. We command good fortune to follow us in all things. Doors of opportunity open before us effortlessly, and every step we take is guided by divine favor. We call forth true love, divinely ordained, harmonious, and eternal. Our hearts and souls are aligned to receive and give love in its purest, most sacred form. May our paths be illuminated, our spirit fortified, and our lives a testament to the boundless grace of the Creator. So it is, so it is, so it is, and so it shall be. All right. I'm going to give the deck just a couple of shuffles here. And then we will do a split like we did the last time. Okay, one more. Holy Spirit, our focus for shadow work this week. Lacking empathy. Lacking empathy. This is a sorcerer archetype. In shadow work, the sorcerer archetype represents manipulation, deceit, and the misuse of power or knowledge. It can reveal parts of us that might be self-destructive, lacking empathy, deceptive, or inauthentic. The lacking empathy, self-destructive, trickster, and inauthentic cards each delve into different aspects of this complex archetype. Working with the sorcerer archetype in shadow work can help uncover and address potential pitfalls in our behavior, encouraging empathy, honesty, and authenticity. It provides a mirror to our self-destruction patterns and manipulative tendencies, challenging us to transform these behaviors for our personal development. As with all shadow work, this journey is one of self-discovery, growth, and understanding. This archetype captures the essence of power, transformation, and the duality of creation and destruction, speaking to the potential within us to harness energies for good or ill, to change realities, and to understand the deeper mysteries of existence. Interacting with both straightforward and shadow aspects of this archetype allows users to contemplate their use of power, authenticity, and the balance between manipulation and genuine connection, serving as both a beacon of potential and a cautionary tale, urging individuals to wield their inner magic with wisdom and authenticity. In the upright, we're being asked, when have we been cold or distant in our relationships, or even in potential relationships? Inability to deeply connect with the emotions and experiences of others, leading to potential misunderstandings or unintentional harm. Examining our ability to empathize with others this week, beloveds. Do we genuinely understand and share the feelings of others? Cultivating empathy and kindness, crucial for deep, fulfilling relationships and for our own emotional health. So, there may have been a time recently, collective, when we were not communicating with clarity in such a way that it caused a misunderstanding. Not necessarily creating harm per se, but it most certainly did tug on a few heartstrings, creating a misunderstanding of some kind, and that will be cleared up this week. I'm going to go now into Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. To go a little bit deeper with these misunderstandings needing to be cleared up as part of our 7-day outlook. We'll just say what needs to be cleared up and cleared away within the next 7 days. Here we go. Oh, there's one turning over. Some kind of pattern that was starting to look like it was repeating. being more bold with the vastness of our creativity. Collective, we've been holding back. We've been holding back. The illusion of a repeated pattern needs to be cleared up. And we need to open up more. Being more free to share in our creativity. Less talk and more activity. Time to get off of that carousel of insanity and be ready for this season of receiving. At the bottom of the deck and in our immediate orbit, we have the Hawk Prince. Spirit, Holy Spirit is communicating with us. We're being guided to go into that stillness. Pay attention. Right behind that, we have the Eagle King also in our immediate environment. Seeing the bigger picture with our A-team and all of our allies by our side and on standby. Let's ring the bell for number 11. New beginnings are in the forecast and increasing in abundance as we speak. This may be a good time to reduce the volume in your listening devices. 1, 2, 3. All right. The goal and the aim was to do that as softly as possible. We shall see during the review before we post as a premiere. Holy Spirit said we know where to look and where to go for the clearest communication. Clarity in and of itself is not priority. It will come when we listen. Not everything is going to be crystal clear to us at this time, but our next move towards empathy and a more authentic way of living is most certainly in our orbit and increasing. With our allies. Both the prince and the king are in the wilderness. It also looks as though in both images there is like a sacred fire or just a fire in general that may be of some relevance this week. An outdoor fire, not a threat to anyone's home. Thank you, Holy Spirit. There will be some significance to that. Also in our orbit, more of that sacred fire, but also this is one of those fires that can be utilized for both the mundane and the spiritual. To prepare for prayer or to even prepare for your next meal, or even to get warm and warm your blankets as you prepare for bed. Low lighting is significant as well. Creating that type of low lighting mood. All right, let's keep going. What else for the collective in terms of shadow work towards empathy? That was a full pass. Holy Spirit said, let's do a split. Right about here. We have the Ice Queen. An idea that the collective is now prepared to take action towards. That the collective has been holding back on for quite some time, perhaps even since last winter. Perhaps you hadn't taken any action during that time because you were concerned about being left out in the cold. But then in comes this wise messenger, swooping in, keeping a watchful eye on everything. Look at the eclipsed moon in the background. That just happened right around this time yesterday morning. There's definitely some significance to the transformation that is occurring following this blood moon eclipse energy that is still very much so in the orbit and in Pisces, which is extremely significant to some of us. Now is the perfect time to look at how far you've come and to ask yourself for a re-clarification of your highest goals. Not all your plans can be accomplished at this moment. There's also an air of caution yet again about being too hasty. Trying to do too many things at once. Choose just that one thing to focus on. And this week, it's empathy. Especially for others. Tying up loose ends and making amends, Holy Spirit just said. Tying up loose ends and making amends. And Holy Spirit will let us know when it's time to let the rest of that creativity thaw. This week is going to be something new and entirely different to you. As the collective comes out of the dark, out of that umbra, the darkest point of the shadow of that eclipse. Let's see what's coming out on the other side of that umbra with the kipper. Let's see what's coming out of the dark for the collective. Coming out of the dark. Coming out of the dark. The house. Holy Spirit said, go deeper. Great fortune. Now meet in the middle. Someone who is all up in their thoughts about you, collective. Wow. A home. Great fortune. Someone all up in their thoughts. You inspire the creativity in another as well. They are back in action with their creativity. But there's something about a lack of motivation And that lack of motivation could very well have something to do with that misunderstanding or miscommunication or both that may have hurt someone's feelings recently. And they have also been all up in their thoughts about that, not realizing that it was entirely a misunderstanding. But that season of abundance and receiving is right here before us. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for guiding me to go deeper. And this, I'm hearing a foundation that is already well laid and well lit. The world that we create for ourselves is about to receive an outpouring of great fortune in multiple ways. We meet the artist in his studio, adrift in his vision and struggling to realize his perfect portrait of a lady. Oh, I think that someone has realized that perfect portrait. Whether you are a guy or a gal, the two could easily swap places here. She could be here, thinking of him. The preoccupation has been the stability, security, a thoughtful person. A very thoughtful person. Also, indicating the need for a bit more meditation this week. Considering our opinions and thoughts of others, thinking about love, feeling firmly connected with someone. Memories, ideas, encouraging us to reflect thoroughly this week for the next 7 days and to explore new ideas. Explore them, but focus on the one. Focus on the one. The coziness that you feel when you're fully immersed in that one idea, form of creativity. And with the house, from that arises the long-term investments, resources, and energy. Building a home with someone, not just a house, a solid, strong, steady relationship. Ripe with suspense. Destination unknown. But the details are coming in more clearly for the collective this week. And this couldn't be any more clear. And as it gets deeper, it leads to this, but not the vain and selfish kind. Holy Spirit is also reminding us to not fear material connections. Know your worth. The full trifecta, though, in terms of material, spiritual, and even romantic connections. Truly emotional connections. Not just the transactional ones. I mean, some transactional connections are necessary. That's how we build our livelihood, and also how we at least discover, like you need a real estate agent, whether, you're buying outright or it's a mortgage or just a representative of some kind. If you're like leasing a condo or something, it kind of reminds me of a condo. But yes, there's that. There's something already on the paper. Like a heart and an M. That's wild. That is so wild. But the heart could also be like a cute representative of an O. Like, home. That inner temple. It starts out as a moving towards what feels like home. As within, so without. Wow. Good luck is on our way, but it's unexpected. Like the timing is going to be unexpected. But that good fortune, that great fortune, is considered to be the best card in the deck. One of the most positive. Amplifying all other nearby good cards and weakening anything bad, including that lack of empathy, beloveds. Something about daylight and summertime. And here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're technically still in that summertime for just a portion of this month. Nevertheless, we can hope for an improvement and a winning streak. New perspectives and improvements in relationship matters as well. Beautiful. Holy Spirit said to make another full pass. But first, let's see what we have going on in our orbit. In our immediate orbit from the bottom of the deck, we have unexpected income. So not only do we have this great fortune here, that can represent all different forms of great fortune, by the way. Unexpected income for the short and the long term. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit just said for the short and the long term. All right, let's make a full pass. We have a family room. You may get news of all of this from your family room or from a family room. But nevertheless, this can represent numerous different forms of gathering places. Holy Spirit said the tea is hot. Back to the drawing board. Back to the drawing board. For some of you, it's back to the office. But this is news of something involving people, places, things, situations, and vocations that have like an intimate place in your heart. And that time and place is very soon, near perhaps even close to you, or it will be very shortly. No more than a month for all of this to come into complete and solid, everlasting fruition. Zero concerns involved with great fortune, unexpected income, and a gathering of 2 or more. I'm saying 2 or more because there are 2 abstract depictions of people here. It also looks like the tea service is for 2. There's also this palm in the background, but also this fire. There's that fire. Doesn't necessarily have to be in a fireplace, because earlier I said this is a fire that will not be any harm or danger to a home. Let me look a little bit closer here, guys. The only thing that I'm really getting is that throughout the next week, from now until the end of the next 7 days, you, collective, you in and of yourself are going to be like night and day in your transformation. With all the trees and the flowers, even in this image, it still involves nature in a major way here. Although in this depiction, the nature is brought indoors. We're being guided to take our true nature outdoors. Also indicating sometime in the next 24 hours, an unexpected message, perhaps even about this unexpected income. But that's all I can say about that. I can't really go into too much depth because I'm being guided by Holy Spirit not to. I'm being guided to keep it vague. Something that is going to create more ambiance in your life. Your true home. Your true home. may even be just a portion of, because this card was just partially blocked, a portion of a much larger building that has several stories. Coming up in the future that could be part of the discussion, the unexpected message, but also there's this unexpected income. So it's involving both to a degree. Within the next 24 hours. While we are still in this blood moon eclipse, full moon in Pisces energy, and the upcoming new moon for inviting the new is also in Pisces. A time for emotional release and self-reflection. Encouraging the collective to let go of the illusions and reconnect with that inner knowing. To always be guided by our intuitions. It's also associated with emotional connections. Spiritual insight, and a powerful time for creative expression. Releasing old patterns and returning to self. Personal growth and healing. This one in particular brings a reset for the soul. Facilitating that emotional and spiritual growth. With the Pisces themes of compassion, intuition, imagination, making it an even deeper spiritual practice, creativity and healing. Transforming the moon's glow to a dark umber red and inviting the messiness, but also those positive, irreversible changes, creating stability while honoring our responsibilities, embracing change, and navigating through the transformative power of these natural occurrences. The resource of that information for the blood moon is the Pagan Grimoire. Thank you. Shout out to pagangrimoire.com for that beautiful reference. There's a lot of red, except in this image. So this is following behind the blood moon energy, the energy of the now, Beautiful. Let's keep going back into the kipper for more. This time, what more is riding in behind this eclipse and blood moon in Pisces? An official person and bad health in reverse. Number 22 is out again. With bad health in reverse, I'm seeing the number 13 instead of 31. A transformation that began with focusing on our health, becoming more authentic. There's that red. These twos representing official connections. Whatever this is, it has already been made official, even if it's still unexpected and unbeknownst to you, to us. I opened right up to it. Order. But someone who loves the ceremony of it. It's giving like cleanliness is godliness kind of vibes. This is a situation that is working out in our favor and improving our health. But we will not be the ones necessarily barking the orders. Someone, an official connection, taking the lead momentarily to assure our health, the entire trifecta of it, is restored optimally. Someone who will stand tall for you. In sickness and in health. But we're not talking about a modern man, modern woman, mediocre, mundane connection here. They want to assure that you are getting adequate rest and recovering from these recent issues. Disclaimer alert. Disclaimer alert. I'm not a doctor. It's not a diagnosis, not a prescription, not a prognosis. But depression is being turned on its head. Minor and short-lived. Interesting. This is something coming in for us that we are never going to want to retire from. After we let go of any issues and relationships that accompany feelings of powerlessness, all right, Holy Spirit is saying, let's draw this to a close. We're going to bring in some invitations from the mystical shaman. What will benefit us on our journey towards more empathy, but also usher in the remainder of these blessings already mentioned throughout this session. Here we go. Invitations for the collective of this week's 7-day outlook. We have the Luminous Warrior, invitations for our 7-day outlook. Ooh, I grabbed 2. Alright, this should be sufficient. We'll take a look at the one that landed face up first, which is the Luminous Warrior. Number 32. Reminding us it is important to focus on our power, wisdom, and beauty. Do not be seduced by what seems wrong with you or with the world. Remember that intention follows attention, so focus on your positive traits. Feed your light with more light until you feel truly empowered. Then there will be little need for action as you resolve all situations from within. Wow, guys. Wow. We also have the eagle, the child, and the gatherer. Interesting synchronicities. Let's take a look at the eagle first. Number 16. This one has been showing itself quite frequently as well recently. Still in our orbit. Getting out of our daily routine. Feeling as though we do not know where to go and what to do next. Losing our sense of purpose, this eagle invites us to take a deep breath and spread our wings. When was the last time you opened them? Reminding us that our spirit was born to soar. Contemplating choices. Do I want to live in a chicken coop, sheltered from life, counting the regular feedings? Or do I want to soar like an eagle? Accept the eagle's invitation and embrace the courage that will help you choose freedom. Now let's look at the invitation of the gatherer. Look at the resources you already have close at hand. This is a time of abundance. Everything around you is ripe and ready for harvest. Banish the notions of scarcity that have limited your choices and colored your destiny. And we have the child. Number 7. As our closing message and invitation. Releasing from the habit of being ourself and to help us acquire a beginner's mind so that we can see life as if for the first time. Remaining open to learning and discovery. Can you see your spouse or partner today with fresh eyes? Who is looking back at you in the mirror this morning? Become a mystery unto yourself and reconnect with a sense of childlike wonder. I'm being guided by Holy Spirit to read the entire description for the child as it is relevant this week. The way to joy and happiness. The return of a second innocence. A time born of wisdom and not of naivety. Correcting our courses and offering us a second chance. The possibility of redemption and entering heaven while on earth. Which is, beloveds, full embodiment. Coming to show us how we can correct the course of our life without being punished. To set ourselves free from our conditioning for suffering, born unfettered and happy, and can be so again if we make the choice right now. The child's self will help us climb out of the hole we may have dug and recover our sense of play. That is the message. Thank you so very much, multiversal soul familia, for tuning in with much gratitude and appreciation. Happy Monday from our heart chakra to yours. Brightest of blessings.